Alrighty, I'd like to welcome you all to JPublic will play Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. This is my 5th video, and we're gonna get going. Off screen, I did some co-op, and I got the item needed so I can talk to this guy. So, we will do that.
Transient being, you have obtained proof. You may call yourself one of us, and are free to plant your roots in this garden of the gods. Be proud, rejoice.
Now, I'm going to actually abandon my covenant for just a minute so we can go talk to this guy.
You are no longer a mere vagabond. You are now a guardian, a knight of the blue. Proud knight, take this.
That is the covenant ring.
Wear this ring and shine light upon stone. Then you will hear the voices of the blue apostles. Listen for their cries of help and repel the malicious invaders. This is the proud work of the Knights of the Blue, the way they elevate themselves to a higher plane. I'll provide what you need. You may visit me at any time.
Okay, this covenant is at its least bloody, hindering, awkward to get through. It's a lot of PvP. What you do is you wear... I'll take off my Ring of Restoration. Put on this ring, and in an area not this, we'll run outside for a second so I can show you. If you look up in the top left corner, and I get to an area where it'll actually kick in, or not. How very odd. Okay. I thought this was one of those ones where the ring would flash, where the icon in the top left corner would flash when it was activated, but I guess not. Oh well. The other thing we get from Tarjay or whatever his name is here. I love that shield. First we can learn his gesture, which is the dual bow gesture. It's basically a better version of the regular bow. We can also, if we want, we can buy a Morningstar or a halberd. We don't. You can buy a bolt stone, which allows you to view equipment for lightning. I am not spending 7,000 on this. You get a monastery charm, which is, as it says, cures poison, restores HP. Holy water herb, which is, I don't know, a fire bomb for divine. And you get his 2 spells you can also buy. I'm actually going to buy these. Emit Force is the first miracle projectile weapon, or projectile spell. It's actually fairly decent.
Pursue your work, Knight of the Blue.
Oh. I thought that was... For some reason I thought I didn't have enough souls to buy the second spell. We'll get that.
Pursue your work, Knight of the Blue.
It's a fairly decent spell. The problem with it is that to explain how Emit Force casts, I can't cast it right now. I have nowhere near the stats for it. To explain how Emit Force casts, the best way I can describe it is my character throws his arms out to the sides and brings them forward in a clap. When he does, he fires out basically a sphere of force that is actually a large projectile, so it will hit in a fairly large area. It doesn't do an area of effect attack, but its hit box is quite large.
Look at how they fret over all. Oh, dear me.
Anyway, I'm going to go back to this covenant. As I said, the Way of the Blue requires you to kill enemy invading phantoms. In just the base game, it's possible to complete this covenant. It's even easier to complete this in Scholar of the First Sin because there are so many more invasions. In the base game, I'd get through most of the game before I completed that covenant, and then I'd switch to something else. In Scholar of the First Sin, I'm actually playing an alternate character on another computer, and on that one I've already completed it, and I'm barely halfway through the game. It's much quicker, which is good because this actually leads into the character build I'm actually going to do with this character. It's a special build that I've done 3 times before. I've done it once on Dark Souls. I've done it once on Dark Souls 2 on the PS3. I've done it once on Dark Souls 2 on the PC. And technically I'm actually doing it a 4th time because I'm running it on my alternate PC as well. It's the achievement build. The achievement build is based around the idea that you have to finish the game 3 times to get all the achievements. At minimum. With the least amount of PvP. The reason for this is there are some spells you can only get the second time you play through the game because they rely on special items you only get on a New Game Plus. The other reason is that in a New Game Plus, your 3rd playthrough, there's a character who will sell certain spells that you can only otherwise get by going through copious amounts of PvP that I have no desire to do. So, we're going for that build. It's unlikely we'll actually see me get any achievements on this, but it'll be fun. So, what does this mean? Well, it means I'm going to do some dark casting because I'll have the stats for it. It means I will also do some miracle casting somewhere down the line. What it means for now, I get to decide on a weapon. I think I've decided on not my fire longsword. So if I look at my inventory here, my weapons, I've got a lot of weapons here. There's not a lot of them I can actually use, but I'll show you the one I'm going to go buy and build a 2 because I like this weapon. So go to buy item. Not the Falchion, not the S-Stock. Actually, it is the S-Stock. I'm going to buy this. I can actually use it. This is going to be my go-to weapon for the game. We're going to do pokey weapons, because I've never actually really played pokey weapons. So, we're going to reinforce it. Where is it? Here it is. Can only do it. Yeah, I don't have enough souls to do it any more than that.
I'll be around if you make it back.
I could burn some of my soul items. I got a lot of these. I'm not going to. I also have all my boss souls. I'm going to save those. I do on every character try to get all the weapons simply because, I don't know, I'm weird that way. First we're going to drop a bunch of crap, because I got tons of stuff in my inventory. I love that sword, but I'm nowhere near the stats to use it. I like greatswords. Greatswords are great. And no pun is at all intended on that. I think they're fabulous, fabulous weapons. Alright, I'm sorry for showing you all this inventory garbage. What we're going to do today is, well, you're probably going to see me die a fair amount of times. Like, and when I mean a fair amount of times, I mean probably a lot. It's probably going to be a lot of tears here. because I'm going to the Forest of Fallen Giants. And we're going to go to the Cardinal Tower, and we're going to visit the last bonfire. The last bonfire, as I've said previously, is an area that could be seen as an end-game area because you don't really, there's nothing you get there unless you go there at the end game. There's another one of those King's Doors there, which is really the only big thing to get there. There's also something else that's end-gamey, but... So what I'm going to do is kill this guy. I'm not going to use my S-Stock yet. It's just not, it doesn't have the stats. So we'll build up to that. Last place, you can use the soldier key. One other thing that came up, on the way to the last giant boss fight, there was a... Why is there a summon sign here? Are you a player? This is interesting. This is different. I don't know this guy. Is he going to follow me around? This is an NPC. That's hilarious. I did not know about him. And he's a dark caster too. That thing he just cast, this is called Cast Light. The projectile he just fired is, I think it's a homing soul arrow. I don't really understand the purpose of them. They're really slow, they have really high stat costs, and they don't do a great amount of damage. Alrighty, let's continue on here. Alphys. Alphys, cast light again. Thank you. That was a Crystal Soul Spear. That is a very late game spell, and it is very powerful, and I love it a lot. One thing you'll notice about a lot of the NPCs is that they have tons of HP. Tons, like ridiculous amounts of it. It's kind of amazing. I also notice I say a lot of one thing. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. So, we're here. Gonna switch to my soul arrow. Gonna get drilled by the bow guy. Twice. Because I'm skilled, I guess. I don't know. I wonder if I can keep this guy around long enough. That would be amazing if I could do that. There's a invasion here. I am not a fan of this invasion in the slightest. Well, that's not true. Once I beat him a few times, I got to be much more of a fan of this invasion. And here he is. Oh god, this was a bad idea. Bonfire, 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 bonfire. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Yeah, that was bad. See, that was me being way too ambitious. Armor Dennis appears here. He is difficult. And I was way too ambitious for no good reason. I deserved every death I got there. See if I can do this bit without dying horribly. Dennis! Here's Dennis. Dennis has some weaknesses. He's kind of predictable. He likes to turtle a lot. Every time he uses that great souls, I think it's called the magic greatsword. Oh, that was great. Yeah, he also likes to use soul spear. And I'm probably going to die again. He's not being nearly as predictable as he usually is, which is really annoying. Like, there are times this guy is the most predictable guy around. What are you doing? My word. Yeah, do that. So I can do that. Go away. I don't like Dennis. I don't like a lot of the invasions. I really just... I don't find them nearly as irritating as the... That's a leather set. It's actually really good. I'm probably going to go put it on. That's marginally heavier. And yeah, I lose some curse, and I can't remember what the other resistance is, but... Well, let's go look it up. Backspace? That's not it. I can't remember the button. Do this the easy way. Petrify resistance. So, yeah, going to this I lose petrify resistance, but it's better armor. So, we'll put that on. Leather gloves are better than this in every way. Not better than rank leggings, we'll leave them on. And I don't even care about the hat because I'm using my magic hat. The hunter hat does look cool. We'll put them on. Put it on just to show you guys what it looks like. Where is it? Right here. That's a dapper hat. You have to give it that much. It's a nice dapper hat. Looks good. I'm going to go rest and refresh my Estus Flask, because there's no way I'm going to go fight a whole bunch of ironclads without a full Estus Flask. That would be silly, in the very least. Over here, where Dennis came from, look, a giant tree. See this bulbous thing here? Seed of a Tree of Giants. That's a item you get at the start of the game, or you can get at the start of the game. Bye. That was skilled. When someone invades, you can use it and make all the enemies in the zone attack them. I do not know if this ability works on... Whoa, I think someone's gonna... yeah, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble real soon now. Ah, too sneaky for you guys. Yeah, these 3 ironclads drop down from the top of from this building up here. And mostly spend a lot of time trying to make your life miserable. I really don't find ironclads that hard if you can get them into a rhythm of swipe, roll back. They're fairly easy. Where they get difficult is when you have a lot of them, or they're in an area where you can't really maneuver well. And here my thinking is, if I have 62 soul arrows, and I'm not really saving them for anything, I'm gonna blow them. And kill these guys. Here, I'll show you on the last one how to do them the melee way, or at least my melee way. First off, get him to do a slam. Run in, swipe. Back away. Swipe. Maybe even twice. Away. That's it. That's how you defeat an ironclad. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm gonna die here. Your biggest enemy in any Souls game, I don't care which one it is, Souls, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, heck, even Lords of the Fallen, which isn't really a Souls game, it's more of a Souls-like. It's hubris. Hubris is a vicious, bitter enemy, and oh man, I left an item over there. I'll have to go get that. Sorry, quick detour, we have to go get an item. But first we're gonna go get everything out of here. So what do we have? Human effigy. Who cares? Whip. Whips, for me, are not a great weapon. Bastard Sword is actually an ultra great sword, which doesn't make any sense at all to me, but it is. Isn't it an ultra great sword? Oh no, it's a regular great sword. I must be confusing it with a different weapon. I don't really have the stats to use this properly, but I love that swing. That swing is so great. I wish I had the stats to use it. It's actually not that hard, but I don't know if I'll ever get that much. Great, great weapon. And I say actually a lot, don't I? So that's everything from here. We'll go... That was dumb of me. I often take short falls and then take damage because I'm lazy, and it's not a smart thing to do when I shouldn't do it, but... Okay, so... we will travel back to the Cardinal Tower so I can go pick up that one item I missed, like a moron. I'm gonna see if I can do this really fast. I probably can't, but we're going to try. Hubris. Always hubris. So... run, run, run. See if you can make him blow himself up. Was trying to make him blow himself up, but he didn't want to cooperate. Ooh, an item. Oh, old ironclad armor. Ironclad armor is really, really heavy and not that great, in my opinion. So, how to do this? This looks a little... We'll run over here. Hopefully not fall off and die. Shoot the wrong guy for a bit. Man, I'm just tanking all sorts of damage I should not be tanking. He says, and then gets drilled. So, where I want to go. I want to run over here, jump in here. I want to switch to a melee weapon, because there's a guy down there who I could have, but didn't. Death from above. We want to go over here. Grab a Titanite shard. Nice item. Nice to have. Really, you end up with these things by the freaking score. They really become sort of a... For something that's supposed to be so rare, you find an awful lot of these. Like... Where is it? It's over here. Titanite of this shard is still a rare find. Like, according to legends of the day, that's a rare find, worth a lot of money, and you find them all over the place here. So, we've done that. What other trouble can I get into? I know! Lost Bastille. Lost Bastille has a very fun encounter here. Let me check my item box for a second. Did I put these away? No, I didn't. Good. This is the information for the soul of the pursuer. The pursuer who seeks the bearer of the sign, that would be my character, will not rest until his target is slain. Essentially, the pursuer runs around killing undead. Oh, neat thing, if you want to see your dark sign, take off my hat as well, because it's covering it up. Put on the hunter's hat instead. And we'll go, and I'll try and show... See that swirl on my character's left shoulder? Between his neck and his shoulder? That's where his dark sign is. You can't see it when he's human. You can only see it when he's hollowed. As you get more and more hollowed, that becomes more and more obvious. This is the old ironclad armor. It's huge defense, but I don't ever wear it. That bell we just heard was someone ringing the... I think it's the Belfry Luna. There's two bells in the game, which directly references the two bells of Dark Souls 1. I'm just going to drill this guy because it's safe over here. What's he going to do? Bleed at me? That's actually a dumb thing to say. They can actually do quite a bit from over there. Those guys are pyromancers, and he has a reasonably effective pyromancy spell that can do horrible things to me. I'm gonna get blown up in a second. I'd like to say a few words about being blown up here. There are ways, I'm sure there's ways to do this without getting blown up. I don't really care. I enjoy it. I know it's silly of me, but Tip it over. Why did I do that? Don't need my summon side, I need a life gem. The other thing you really killed on there is a bunch of dogs. Okay. I mentioned the Pursuer for a specific reason. There are two types of Pursuer. There's what I call the Pursuer Alpha, which is the boss, and there's Pursuer Beta, which is these guys. The reason I guess call them Pursuer Beta is because they're different, and in many ways I find them a lot easier. The reason for that is simply they have a magic attack that the regular Pursuer doesn't have and never uses. Well, he just doesn't have. Whenever they use it, they are... you can basically wail on them while they're doing it. It's kind of great. Oh, I deserve that so badly. When the Pursuer... oh, that's his magic attack right there. While he's doing that, just run right up to him and beat the crap out of him. He can't do anything to you. We'll go do this again. The difference between the Pursuer Alpha, of which there are 2 encounters, and I'll show you both of them, and the Pursuer Beta is Pursuer Alpha, which gives you his soul, and in his second one gives you an awesome, awesome ring. Seems to be a little bit bigger, and wow, I didn't take damage there. Is a little bit bigger, and he has more HP, and that projectile attack that we saw when I took on the Pursuer with my friends is very, very rare. Pursuer Beta seems a little bit smaller to me. Has much less HP. I can get the guy to show up. There he is. They have much less HP. They're, as you can see, dripping with dark. And they have that big magic attack, which is really stupid in my opinion. If you ever get caught in that three hit attack, always roll to the side. Never roll back. The blue blade sort of stabby attack that I was careful to avoid. What that is special grab attack kind of thing. If you get hit with that, you get impaled on the blade, he lifts you up in the air, and he curses you. Doesn't always damage you completely, but it's unpleasant. We got some interesting items here. We'll talk about them. First is the Fragrant Branch of Yore, which I already mentioned, is for unpetrifying people. I also got a nice ring. The ring is this ring here. It yields more fallen foes yield more souls. Very useful item. We're going to put that on. Actually, why am I wearing that thing still? I'm not in the Covenant anymore. What do I want to wear? We'll put this on for now. And we get a Twinkling Titanite. Twinkling Titanites are used for enhancing special items. I think the way I refer to them is out-of-the-box magic items. Get improved. Most of them, anyway, get improved by Twinkling Titanite. Boss weapons get improved by Petrified Dragon Bone. I think that covers all the upgrade materials. In here. Oh, that was smooth. I totally deserved to die there. That was the dumbest thing ever. Remember, kids, hubris. This is Lucatiel. Lucatiel has a quest line. If you defeat up to 4 bosses with her, when you meet her the final time, she gives you her gear. I love her gear.
What is it? I don't know. Things are better. You are an odd one. Normally, people keep us. I'm called Lucatiel. From the land of Mira to the far east, across the mountains. They say Drang Lake brims with powerful souls. And so I came to claim my share. But what a strange place. Even the rumors did not prepare me. You are an odd one indeed. I've always made a point of avoiding people, while you've made a point of engaging me. I can see that you are mid-journey. If you require assistance, I will help you. I come from Mira, a land of knights. My sword is always ready. Don't hesitate to call upon me. Whatever happens, I won't be missed.
I'd miss you, Lucatiel. I like Lucatiel.
You are an odd one. Well, I can see. I come. Don't hesitate.
She's a great sword wielder. She's not particularly great at anything. I just find her story really interesting, and so I try to do her story every time I can. She's sometimes tricky to keep alive. I find it a bit easier in this version of the game than the last one because there's so many more summons, so they can sort of spread out the abuse that summons tend to take. There's Titanite Shard up here. That was unnecessary damage, but I don't care. What we're going to do is we're going to try and open up another bonfire. This is going to be an interesting... This fire sword is going to be the death of me. Like, I'm just gonna end up killing myself with it, and it's dumb, but that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm dumb. Gold pine resin allows you to enchant your weapon with lightning. Temporarily. Okay, this guy up here, you can see sort of to his right, there's a black thing. That's a barrel. If you come up from the bottom, he kicks it down on you, and then it'll explode. If you try and attack him physically from behind, he will swing his weapon and blow himself up, and you'll lose the barrel. You don't want to lose the barrel. You need that barrel a lot, and I will show you why. Run in, falls down, explodes, kills a Doog. Let's kill the other Doog. This gate can only be opened from the other side. That's okay, though. We got what we wanted, which is our bonfire. That guy is wielding a twin blade. I think that's the red iron twin blade, and I don't know what he's got on his head. We're gonna light a torch. We're gonna light this torch. It's brazier over here. And we're going to drop our torch, because I don't want to use up my time. And rest. Now, I should have showed this more. This guy is actually sitting on this chest. The moment you light that torch, he moves. And look at all this loot. Let's go looting. We have an iron arrow. J standard arrow. Better than a wood arrow. We have a heavy bolt. It is 2 bolts, as iron arrows are 2 arrows. We have Craftsman Hammer. Is actually a fairly decent melee weapon. If you're a mace user, it's a good second tier weapon. And another Twinkling Titanite. Some Titanite shards. And some large Titanite shards. Well, that's nice.
Oh, why can't they all be this easy?
Sorry he's so quiet. I don't know why he is.
We've got a wild one here. Shape up. Shape up, I say. That's it, yes. That's the way.
No, this guy isn't creepy at all.
How brightly you burn.
Eventually,
Flame, I smell flame upon you. I'm McDuff, the blacksmith. All I want is a little flame. So, hand that ember to me. Right now, you imbecile.
there's no reason to ever say no here.
What a marvelous ember. You've got stones, I pray. Give me stones, and I'll fortify your gear.
Welcome to the second of the 3 blacksmiths in the game. Steady Hand McDuff will... First of all, he sells another bastard sword, the Uchi Katana, which is a fairly decent katana. I actually like it. Wing spear, great axe, the scythe. You find one later. It's dark. Fused longbow, which is a good second-tier bow. Another crossbow, and the Royal Kite Shield. Royal Kite Shield is great. We're going to get that. Before we do that, I'll explain why. Over here, 100% physical resist. It's not bad in anything else. I like it a lot. What else does he sell? Good selection of arrows, including great arrows, which are used by great bows, which I never use, because, really. He sells an infinite amount of large Titanite shards. And a repair powder. Where you really come to this guy for is this. Infusions. With infusions, you add an element to your weapon. What usually happens for an infusion is you decrease some scalings with attributes, so the amount of bonus damage you get due to attributes, and increase others. If you look at my S stock right now, it's got C for physical strength, D for dexterity. As I level it up, those numbers will improve. It might get all the way up to like B or maybe even A for strength and all the way up to B for dexterity. Which is one of the more interesting things about as you level up weapons. Their scaling improves as well. You can see it drops from CD to a red C, which means it's still C scaling, but it's a lower tier of C, A, B, C, D, S. That scaling sort of, it's not a all B's are the same. There's sort of ranges within them. And it gains C scaling down here to magic, which is directly intelligence. And it loses some physical damage, but it gains magical damage. Same thing for fire. It gains fire scaling. You can see that down here. And it loses physical damage, gains fire. Lightning, same thing. Dark, same thing. Poison. It still loses the physical damage, but it gains a whole bunch of poison. It will now do a bunch of poison. Bleed, same thing, but it now does a bunch of bleed. Raw. Raw is special. You see here, it's lost a whole bunch of scaling. It loses most of its scaling, but it gets more base damage. Where Raw is really useful is to do improvements on weapons that have crappy scaling to begin with, but big damage. There's a sword you can get, a great sword. It's wielded by a specific weapon, and if you go through his plot, you get his weapon. It's a good weapon, but it has no scaling. Turning it raw makes it fairly good. Now, this is one of the weird things. There's magic, which uses Faint Stone, and enchanted, which uses Magic Stone. Don't ask me why, it's a from thing. Enchanted adds physical scaling. You see, enchanted doesn't decrease the physical damage. It does decrease some of the scaling, but adds magic scaling. What enchanted does is it adds magic scaling that goes directly to physical damage. Enchanted is useless. There's no real use for it. Even if you have monstrous intelligence, I've never found it to be very useful. Now, of course, somebody will respond and say I'm wrong, but this is just my experience. I've never found it to be useful. Mundane. Mundane is weird. Mundane, as you can see, it reduced my scaling. It really reduces the damage. What Mundane does is it scales on all your stats. But the way it scales is it looks at the lowest stat and scales off that. But the scaling it gets makes S-rank scaling look pathetic. It's monstrous, like huge scaling. Usually it's best at around 20. So if you get all your stats to 20, which takes a pretty high level, you get all your stats to 20, you take a weapon that has fairly low damage and turn it mundane, you've created a monstrous weapon. Because if you can get a fast hitting weapon with low damage and you put it on mundane with 20 stats, it's all of a sudden doing like better damage than you see guys with ultra great swords and big strength. It can be really huge. It's really hard to get to. It's really fiddly. You might see me do it. Unlike if I go through on this recordings all the way to my third playthrough, I might show you a third one. A mundane weapon on my third playthrough. It's weird. I don't think I actually have any of these things. Oh, the one I have is raw, which I'm never going to use. So, can't really do any of that. I can maybe reinforce my S-stock again. And we're going to pump this up as much as I can. Okay, so where to next? Well, I think the next thing to do is go to Majula. I've killed an invader. I have a covenant that levels up as I kill invaders, and I'm pretty sure that the next level is on 1. So let's go see what he has to say. Right now I'm on level 0. Let's see what happens when we go to level 1. Your devotion to your covenant is deepened. You have gained a rank. Get the Bloodbite Ring. Bloodbite Ring increases bleed resistance. That's that.
May you find peace on your journey.
It's actually really funny the first time you play through on the game, if you don't have any achievements, because you'll know when you've maxed out that covenant or any other covenant if you're playing it before going to see them, because the achievement will pop up saying you've maxed out the covenant. So it's kind of like, thanks for the clue. We're gonna go back here. Lycia's gone. That's good. And we're gonna stop right before my next area. Next time we do a recording, which may be for a bit, I'm going to take you guys into the No Man's Wharf. Well, the way to, and hopefully the No Man's Wharf itself, but that will also be an episode of Tears, so it may be hilarity. I will see you guys later. Have a good time.